Joe Rogan just officially said Jake vs. Woodley is rigged. You two are following what happened between Jake Paul and Woodley and want to know what exactly happened between them. If yes, then you're in the right place. Hello fans of kickboxing, welcome to your favorite kickboxing channel. How are you guys doing? I'm your host, and in today's video, we bring forth Joe Rogan's take on this topic. Before, you must have heard that Joe Rogan just officially said Jake vs. Woodley is rigged. Do you want to know more about his statement? If yes, then stay with us until the end of the video. Before we begin with the video, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified when I come back with another amazing video. That being said, let's jump right into the video. Now, we all know that Joe Rogan has been vocal about the fight for the past few months. During an edition of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan spoke on Tyron Woodley's style of boxing. While stating that Woodley isn't known for throwing punches like a boxer, he is certainly capable of throwing big bombs. Rogan added that Tyron Woodley is mostly the type of fighter who has been used to boxing in MMA, but also tends to use everything else, starting from takedowns to cliches in the sport of mixed martial arts. Rogan also said in an interview, "Oh, he's gonna fight Tyron Woodley. Well, I know he can punch. He can punch really hard. But he doesn't punch like a boxer. He throws big bombs and sets up takedowns. You know, he can crack through one shot and can fuck anybody up. But the thing is, like, he can throw a bomb and then set up a takedown or set up a clinch. He's not a guy who's going out there peekaboo style throwing jabs to the body. That's not his style. He's never been a guy who boxed. He's a guy who uses boxing in MMA, but he uses everything." Being a former UFC welterweight champion, Rogan also spoke highly about Woodley's credentials as one of the top 170-pound fighters of all time. However, it's no secret that Joe Rogan is not only a great UFC commentator, a seasoned martial artist, but he also has no illusions that he has a shot at boxing match against Jake Paul. While the YouTube star, a professional boxer, stands out in the martial arts for his unconventional entry into the sport, only a small portion of fans and fighters pay homage to his success in the ring. But according to Rogan, Troubled Boy is skilled enough to defeat a lifelong martial artist like him. On episode 1695 of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, guest Andrew Schultz asked a UFC commentator how he would perform in the ring against Paul. Rogan agreed without hesitation, "He'll probably fuck me. He's a really good boxer. He's a good boxer." The popular podcaster was then asked if he could beat Jake Paul in a kickboxing fight, given his lack of internet celebrity experience in the discipline. "I could kickbox when I was young and had good knees. Now I could barely exercise without pain. That's the reality of the knees and back. There's a big difference between protecting and strengthening and fighting after training. When you can train to fight, your body collapses." Joe Rogan believes Tyron Woodley will undoubtedly be the toughest test of Jake Paul's career so far. According to a martial arts analyst, Woodley's ability to knock out people with a single blow and experience as the best MMA fighter is a dangerous challenge for Jake Paul. However, Joe Rogan does not believe that Woodley was the favorite to win the fight. The podcaster said, "Removing Woodley wrestling from the equation poses a problem for the chosen one. I know he can beat it, but he's not beaten like a boxer. He throws big bombs and prepares to take them down. He can only explode with one blow. It can confuse anyone, but the point is the shot, the grenade, and sets up a drop or wedge. He who peeks out there and puts a bayonet on his body, and not a man throwing hooks." Over the past year, Jake Paul has dominated the martial arts conversation with his famous boxing show special. Now, however, Paul may have bitten off more than he can chew, as this summer he will face the most dangerous fighter of the nascent boxer's career, where he will face former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley in August. But while many believe that there will be a match that will eventually stop the arrogant YouTuber, UFC commentator Joe Rogan is not so sure. On his latest podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan discussed Jake and his brother Logan Paul's transition to boxing, praising Jake for showing off his real boxing skills. "First they became famous, and then it turned out that they can fight," said Rogan. "Especially Jake. The boy can drive people out of hell. He knows how to shoot. He only has a few fights. Here's how to look at it. Look at him like any guy who's only had a few fights. If you've ever seen a guy with no amateur career and only a few games behind him, you say, dude, he has a word. The Disney Channel star also undeniably proves some of his talents for the sport, achieving 3 knockouts in his first 3 games, including the last one where former Bellator and 1 championship heavyweight champion Ben Askren was eliminated in the first round. Actually, it was Paul who was preparing for his upcoming match with Woodley and Paul. His victory over Askren, which served as a springboard for fame to stand up to legitimate martial arts veterans rather than just fighting over celebrities. However, there's a huge gap between Ben Askren and Woodley in terms of batting ability that Rogan knows too well. He's going to fight Tyron Woodley, Rogan said. I know he can punch. He hits really hard, but he doesn't hit like a boxer. He throws big bombs and drops guns, but he can't break them. He can hit anyone in one hit. But the thing is, the way he throws blows, he throws it like a bomb, and then he'll knock it down to set a wedge. It's there. He's not the guy who goes Cebu, punches, and hooks the body. That's not his style. He was never the guy to box. We won't know until they get there. But the point is, he'll be the most dangerous man Jake Paul has ever fought. Not even close. No one is more dangerous than Tyron Woodley. Tyron isn't just an MMA fighter, he's a UFC world champion and one of the greatest middleweights of all time. He's in the top 3 if you look at the UFC welter scales of all time. Woodley will certainly be Paul's most formidable opponent ever, but as with Askren, there is a feeling that Paul chose his opponents wisely. Woodley is an excellent fighter, and although he has real KO power per hit, he's also 39 and hasn't been looking good lately, losing the last 4 games in a row without winning a single round. As mentioned, there's a big difference between losing to the best MMA fighter on the planet and losing to a guy who's just started boxing in the last few years. Still, Rogan doesn't mean to say that Woodley will definitely win this fight. He punches him really hard and doesn't need to be afraid of fighting. He doesn't have to worry about getting tired, and if he can shoot, he'll be the most dangerous guy Jake Paul has ever had. He has to be fought sometimes, Rogan said, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win. I think Jake Paul can box. But when you look at the fight with Nate Robinson, I know he didn't know what Nate Robinson was doing, but the way he threw those punches was cracked. He can slide back and then plant. No big wind moves. His brother has more shots. His brother throws more windmill arms. Jake throws things straight and hard. They're much more dangerous. Do you agree with Joe Rogan? Let us know your views in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.